this lesson, I'm going to share with you the decisions we took along the way to design this MOOC as openly as possible, with reusers and adapters as one of our priorities. As stated in the MOOC description, this learning path as a whole is designed for people involved in education at all levels: teachers, students, instructional designers, librarians, and content editors. In this section, we aim to share the choices we made since we decided to experiment a radically open process to create the MOOC, so that anyone can adapt it at the macro, meso, and micro level. During the pre-design phase, we started discussing the options of testing the creation of an open MOOC to enable reusers even when they have no other resources except their time and their expertise. We wanted to share knowledge in the most reusable way and experiment with what it means in terms of human resources and work processes. This initial discussion involved the managing director of our Teaching and Learning Innovation Unit, the project manager, and the instructional designer. It is a cost for a unit like ours to test a different process to work on MOOCs. We have a process in place, tested across more than 100 MOOCs so far, and we use a specific software under a license. Using only open source software to let anyone open editable versions of all files so that they can adapt potentially each detail means drastically creating a new process and using new tools. To effectively explore the open source tools that could best enable us to do quality work with the formats we need, the project manager, the video editor, and the graphic designers tested multiple options with different perspectives and prioritized across necessary compromises, while designing the most effective learning experience we could provide. We analyzed the compromises one by one and discussed them as a team, doing our best to keep it simple for our hypothetical colleagues. We then explored sources of openly licensed, reusable, and adaptable elements in all areas, including graphic elements, templates, and parts of broader content. Since not all teams have the privilege to have all the professional profiles and skills we have, we wanted to intentionally ensure users are in the best possible position not to invent or create anything that is already available if they don't have the expertise or the time needed to learn and explore, so they can focus on the key elements of the learning path. This activity required a team effort because we also needed to negotiate and agree on what to let go and what to prioritize in terms of offering the best reuse options. Time and budget are always limited, even in the most privileged context. And avoiding wasting resources, whichever the context, is one of our priorities to be consistent. We were now ready to start the design phase. The content expert, in this case also an instructional designer, created the MOOC index, intended learning outcomes, formative and summative assessment strategy, and content. An open project like this is nothing different from others. We needed to create an effective learning experience. That was all. We then chose a diverse range of reusable resources when consistent with the purpose, the approach, and the focus to test the challenges across the production path. The more diverse the licenses and resources were, the better. This action was done on purpose, to stress the process, since it was a pilot. Generally speaking, the challenges would arise during the process after the choice of resources that fit for the purpose. Here and there, we had to consider changing the format of specific content, taking reuse into account as a priority, despite the best option in terms of visual quality. Sometimes, certain content fits best with one format or another, but in terms of reusability, it makes reuse more complex or less cost-effective. We made some choices that would fit best with our priority, make our MOOC reusable and adaptable at the easiest rate we could reach. We also chose to consider reducing examples explained in detail to invite participants to spend more time on different formats instead. To test the process further, if resources were equally important content-wise, we considered our priority to focus on a diverse range of formats. Another choice we made intentionally was to add links to reused and adapted graphic and content elements in the slides, even if the links were not going to be active when visualized in the videos. We wanted to make the links easily verifiable when reused and with a well-written TASL attribution statement, title, attribution, source, and license, and to enable the reuse and adaptation of the slides as a standalone OER that could be enhanced with a textual explanation in case the video is not an ideal option in the reuse context. Additional effort was made to create and share instructions for reusers, as you can see in this section of the MOOC. Certain file types need an explanation about the whys and the hows to enable reuse and adaptation experiences at best. We made the choices, we had our reasons. Sharing the decision-making process is light additional work, but can be extremely useful for others to make their own choices more intentionally, whichever their role in the adaptation process. As an instructional designer, I just want to add that also in the design of the assessment phase, we chose to prioritize exercises type that are consistent with more than one platform and easy to adapt. Some exercises are not very common, and even if effective, they might be hard to reuse on multiple platforms. We avoided them. As far as an alternative is available and we were not affecting the effectiveness of the exercise, better to choose formats and structures that are easy to adapt. That's all. We happily and eagerly share our experience, knowing we had the privilege to learn from it. We invite you to provide feedback in case you decide to reuse and adapt our MOOCs, so we can learn from you.